Hey, Excelsior, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Stan, let me have the light here. Thank you so much. Uh, this is a series, reality series, which is thinly hosted by Stanley. His name was put on a lot of things over the years, towards in his later years. There's a lot of stories that can be told about this, but I don't want to get into all that. None of it's really great, but Stan, who has, he's been gone for a pretty long while. He was almost 96, 97 years old when he passed. Anyway, this is a series from 2010 to 2014. It's actually 3 seasons. It's probably about 31 episodes or so. Each of them are about 45 minutes long each. And, well, Stan kind of introduces each episode and sort of closes out each episode. But it's really about a man he's found who is the most flexible man in the world, and it's Daniel Browning Smith. Yeah, Daniel Browning Smith. You can just bend his arm behind his back, and he's the guy who goes on all the adventures. I've met Stan many times in my life, just briefly. Not like we're buddies or anything, but there was a time when he would pretty much not go beyond a certain number of miles from his home in LA, unless it was like a big trip somewhere where the people around him could make a lot of money off of him. I said I wouldn't go into this, but sorry. Anyway, Daniel Browning Smith is the super flexible guy who's also very personable and acts as the actual host of the series. Stan says, hey, you know what, I co-created a bunch of heroes, and they could all do amazing things, and some were born with these abilities. And, you know, he doesn't necessarily mention the X-Men. He does mention the Hulk and Spider-Man and things like that, but strangely not the mutants. I guess he didn't want to associate these people as mutants, because a lot of times that's seen as a curse and not a blessing. But anyway, Daniel is the one who goes around and meets these fascinating people that have really strange abilities. The first episode features 4 different people. The first one of which he goes all the way to India to meet, and he can conduct electricity through his body. He's a human electro. He can literally boil eggs in holding a pan as electricity runs through his body. It's stuff that any of us who would do that for even a half second would just die. And I don't know what the trick is. And they go through these experiments to verify these things, that it's not some sort of weird trick, that his body can withstand this kind of electricity. I don't know if he's been disproven since 2010 when this episode premiered, but who knows? A lot of the other episodes are a little bit closer to home. There was the second guy he talks to, and this is just the one episode I watched, just one episode. The second guy is in San Diego, a place that Stan has been many, many times. He is like a human calculator. He can calculate numbers instantaneously. Just throw a bunch of numbers at him, and he'll multiply them, subtract them, divide them, square root them, and even tell you that if you wanted to, you could give him a date, and he could tell you which day of the week it was. Yeah, super fast, faster than anybody with a calculator, computer, anything else. It was, and just to show that it's not like some sort of trick that he's memorizing, he can take anything, and calculate it almost instantaneously. And so they had to give him an MRI scan of his brain to see how he's doing this, what makes him a little bit different. Well, you'll have to watch the episode to find out. Third person is a guy who's blind but can see his surroundings by making clicking noises like a bat. So he uses echolocation to actually recognize items in front of him. He can even ride a bike going down a street. They test him out at different points. They put a bunch of cars in a parking garage in Santa Monica or downtown LA, and he weaves his way through them easily. So, yeah, and they even take him into a cave and have him talk to a guy who's an expert in bats. So they don't call him Batman at all. So, but because Batman doesn't have that ability, which you'd think. I mean, between him and Daredevil, who's the Batman? I don't know. Yeah, well, the name was already taken, so they created Batman in the 30s. Daredevil didn't come around till the 60s, so yeah. You snooze, you lose, Stan. And the final person was a person that, he has this astounding grip. He can literally he can tear phone books in half. Yes, it's an old trick. And the guy, Daniel, brings that up. He says, this is the way people used to do it, in county fairs or whatever, carnivals and things like that. But this guy literally just tears it straight down the middle, and he can bend steel to a degree that machines can't do so easily. Then he has a bunch of bikers, he's holding a chain as a biker just pulls away and holds him in place. He could have got his arms ripped off. It's really, some of these things are really fascinating. Sometimes you wonder, how do you find these people? But hey, thankfully a lot of them were local to LA, so go figure. Actually, the one guy was in Texas, Texas, Houston. So he goes all over the world, all over the United States, and finds all sorts of people. There's 30 more episodes beyond the one I just watched. It's something that I don't know if I'd watch it all. I'm not really a big fan of reality TV. Thankfully, it's not a competition. They're not putting the guy who can bend stuff and tear phone books in half up against the guy who can electrocute himself and live. That just they would make a really bad rogues gallery for Spider-Man. Think about that. Man, that's just, what if the final episode is them putting all these people in costumes? Having them, fight Stan Lee. Stan Lee would win, technically. But, I don't know. Who could beat up on, a 90-something-year-old man? No, you're not going to do that. Or electrocute him, or tear him in half, or echolocate him. No, that's not a thing you're going to do with Stan Lee. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he didn't survive to have that indignity put upon him. Rest in peace, Stan. Anyway, yeah. Don't, Stan, give me back my light. Thank you. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 25. Oh, we just had 20. No, we had 33. So 34. 25. What is 25? Oh, it's a short. Why am I getting excited about shorts? Because it takes very little watching effort. When I have a very busy day, my days are very busy. And I'm kind of regretting using this color, because this short is called Aquamania. Aquamania from 1961. That's what we're watching next. A classic short. I'm going to get to give my classic short speech. If you haven't heard that before, well, here you go. Aquamania from 1961, animated short of the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.